Okay, it's getting close. We're close. It's really right there with draft season, and the Detroit Lions have a prospect that they reportedly really like, and that I want to make it clear is Texas Tech edge defender Tyree Wilson. So the question is, why do they love this guy? And we're here on Pride of Detroit, and there you see Tyree Wilson, and the guy is an athletic freak. He is a physical marvel. And so it makes sense why they would like him and why they would enjoy him. But let's just get a little bit closer. ESPN's Matt Miller said the Lions may be zeroing in on a defender with the 6th overall pick. Here's what we know. We've talked about this. The Detroit Lions are going to pick who they most talented player whenever it is their turn to pick. They're going to get the most talented one. So when we know that they're going to get the most talented player, what we need to start wondering is what are the traits and the attributes that they love, that Brad Holmes looks for in a player? Would he rather find talent on the defense or offense? What does he hold in higher standard? I don't know. But the Lions are, here's the term per Miller, infatuated with Texas Tech edge defender Tyree Wilson. Now, before I go further, can I just say this real quick? Take anything this time of year with a grain of salt. The Detroit Lions could be, very well, could be infatuated with Tyree Wilson. But you know what else they could be? They could just simply be trying to make the Seahawks or the Colts or the Cardinals think that Tyree Wilson, like, oh man, if the Lions see something in them, maybe what should we see in them? And they can, and maybe somebody, just maybe, picks him ahead of Will Anderson Jr. and Javon Walker ahead of Will Anderson Jr. And maybe he falls to us. Like, I think that is something that you can absolutely look for. That's why you need to take it with a grain of salt. But here's what he said. I've heard they really like Tyree Wilson of Texas Tech and have a high grade on him. The Lions have spent considerable time and resources meeting with and working out pass rushers this offseason, and they will be seeking more help on defense right out of the gate in round 1. Okay, all that's great. Does it add up? The measurables do add up. For what Brad Holmes says, we've heard Brad Holmes quoted as saying he loves long defensive linemen with long arms. He loves it. When you see the picture of this guy, he still looks yoked. He still looks strong, but he has that on really long arms. It's a really crazy frame. So he has the prototypical NFL edge defender frame at 6'5", 271 pounds with massive 35.6-inch arms. People have been comparing his wingspan to Giannis. They're saying it's only like 3 inches short of Giannis, which is nuts considering he's only 6'5". It is. It is. So he has the physical tools to be dominant defender and an elite talent for years to come. That doesn't mean that he will be a dominant defender for years to come. All it means he has the tools to be that. So what about his production? His production was okay. All right. His production was okay. And I want to say it was something like 7 sacks or 6 sacks each year, 14 sacks total. And we can look at that. I will even share that screen with you guys because I'm looking at that as well. So I don't want to leave you out in the cold here. All right. So he had 36 solo tackles, 7 sacks, a forced fumble, nothing insane. Nothing insane. Like, it was fine. And he did pretty much the exact same thing the year before. So when you look at it, this is not a guy that you're getting because you think that he's going to immediately contribute or because he was unbelievable in college. I will make the argument that I do think he can immediately contribute, but that's not why you're drafting him. You're drafting him for what he can be. You're drafting him for the potential. And at 270 pounds, he's a guy that you can put on the outside. He can defend the edge in the run. He can pass rush. He can do it all. He's honestly, he's I know this sounds weird. He's similar to Hutchinson, but in a completely different way. How about that? Let me explain that one. Similar, but totally different. He can do all the same things Hutch does. He has great versatility in his game. The difference is Hutch was coming out and he didn't have the long arms. He didn't have all these perfect height, length, weight intangibles. What Hutch had was, a really quick cone drill and all that kind of stuff. And he had a high motor and he was a great technician. Tyree Wilson's coming out. He does have a high motor. Don't get me wrong. He plays hard. I don't know if anybody plays as hard as Hutch, but he has a high motor. He does play well. He just needs to work on the technique. Like, that's what's going to happen. And that's what Wilson needs. And then the sky's the limit for this guy. The sky could be higher than it is for Hutch, which is just absolutely nuts to think about. Aiden Hutchinson is such a good player and a cerebral player, and he just goes hard all the time. And if you can imagine a more athletic version of Hutchinson, I don't know if I want to say more athletic. That's not fair. I don't know if he's more athletic. A more physically gifted in the attributes for an edge defender guy than Aiden Hutchinson. That's what you could find in Wilson. So that's what we're kind of looking at, and we'll see what happens. I am really, really excited about the possibility of this. And it sounds like the Lions like him enough that even if that's where we get him at 6 and Anderson's gone and Carter's gone, there's a video on Carter, but that we have, you should check it out on why I don't think the Lions will draft him. And it's not why you think. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But anyways, I'm just saying, like, there are physical attributes about this guy that are tremendous. All right, let me know what you think about him. Is he worth it? Or would you rather see us go like a Christian Gonzalez? Would you rather see us go just something kind of in that realm and just see what happens there? Let me know what you think. And hey, I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're watching the draft with us. April 27, we're going to be starting at 7:45. You can put the draft on in the background, but listen to us. We love talking to you. You can get in on the chat, comment, all that good stuff, especially if you're a member. We'll make sure we respond to you right away. And we just can't wait to spend this time with all of you guys. So, hey, we'll see you on the next one. But again, subscribe, leave a comment on who you like at 6. And of course, as always, please be a member if you'd like. See you on the next one.